Hi, and welcome to the brand new channel, Zach's Credit Card Guide, your resource for credit tips and how best to maximize credit rewards. Today for our first video, we're going to be talking about the new credit card from Apple. But first, if you are interested in credit card tips and tricks, make sure to hit that subscribe button, but let's get started. So just on Monday, Apple had a spring event where they focused a lot on software and some new features that they're coming out with. But as a credit card points enthusiast, I was most interested to hear about the rumored credit card that Apple teamed up with Goldman Sachs to introduce. Now, like everything, Apple likes to think that they're a great innovator, so let's ask Tim Cook what they're doing to shake up the credit card industry.
So much better. Like simplifying applications, eliminating fees, lowering interest rates, offering clear and compelling rewards, and of course, providing the security and the privacy that people have come to expect for Apple Pay.
Now, what sets this card apart from all of the other ones out on the market?
For starters, you don't have to wait days to get your card. Just sign up on your iPhone, and in just minutes, you get your Apple Card and you can start using it right away.
Okay, so that's nothing new. You're able to apply for cards on your smartphone anyway, and with cards from American Express, you will often get the number right away and you can add it to your Apple Wallet.
You can use it worldwide, anywhere with Apple Pay.
So using Apple Pay through the MasterCard network, you can use this card worldwide. Again, that's really nothing new. Any card that you added through Apple Pay, you could do pretty much the same thing with.
Apple Card is also always with you because it's in your iPhone, in the Wallet app.
Again, always with you in the Wallet app, so are all of the other ones that I've loaded in there.
And the Wallet app has completely new capabilities. So you can see everything you need to know about your Apple Card, like what you've spent, how much you've spent, where and when your payment is due.
Okay, now this is the first cool thing that's a little bit different. Now this functionality is not necessarily new. You could always do a similar thing with Mint or something like that. But as usual, Apple takes something that's been done and they try to refine it a little bit. Now I do like this analytics. From what we can see, I haven't been able to play with it yet, but from what I can tell, it does seem pretty nice. It'll allow people to easily track their finances, see where they're spending money, and as typical with Apple, it's a nice clean interface, so this I do have to say I like. Now, we're not necessarily here to talk about the software and the Apple Wallet side. We're focused on the card itself, and is it something that you should apply for when it becomes available later this summer. Now, Apple teamed up with Goldman Sachs, who traditionally has not done consumer credit, so this is their first entrance into a personal credit card that you can just go and openly apply for. Now, there was one thing that I won't say necessarily caught me by surprise, but was fairly interesting.
So Apple Card does not have any fees. No late fees, no annual fees, no international fees, and no over-limit fees.
So that's really nice that there's no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee, all that stuff. That's really interesting, and I can't really think of a no annual fee card that doesn't have any fees, especially a foreign transaction fee. That usually goes hand in hand with no annual fee cards. Now, they do say that there are lower interest rates. We're not sure what that means yet. But as always, if you're following a channel like this one, we pay our bills in full on time every single month because we're focused on maximizing rewards. And once you start to pay interest, any rewards that you might have gained are pretty much obliterated right away. So it's always great to spend reasonably, spend within your means, try not to carry balances if you can help it at all. Now, one part that's kind of interesting that they didn't really expand on, there's no late fees or anything like that. So I have to wonder what incentivizes people to pay on time. Is there an on time, or does interest just continue to rack up? We haven't really seen yet because Apple didn't really go into detail. So I'm interested to see how they incentivize people to pay on time. Now, we're not quite sure what the minimum credit line or minimum credit rating will be to get this card. I imagine that Apple will want to get it into as many hands as possible, and I would have to think that there will be a sliding scale, much like any other card, that the lower your score, the lower credit line you'll get, maybe slightly higher interest within whatever their lower range is. Now, this is a personal credit card, so it will almost certainly apply towards Chase's 524 rule, so keep that in mind. If you are under 524, I don't think I would recommend picking this up. This is mostly a card that you would add later. And at this time, it doesn't appear that there will be a business version. However, me personally, and this is just my speculation, I have to think that that will change because Apple does appeal to a lot of pro-level consumers, so I have to think they would want to bring some of that in-house as well. I bet they'll come out with a business version at some point. Now, what kind of rewards does the Apple Card earn?
Favorite feature
and we call it Daily Cash.
Okay, so again, with not a very creative name, Daily Cash. I mean, I guess it's straightforward and just kind of tells you what it is. Now, it's just regular cash back like any other card. One advantage, if you want to think of it that way, is that your rewards accrue daily. Now, that's kind of cool, I guess. You don't have to wait a statement or two for it to show up. Me personally, I don't really use them that quickly. I don't feel like I need it that quick, but there's no disadvantage, so I guess it's fine. That's a cool feature. Now, the rewards are pretty lackluster. You get 3% on Apple purchases, now that is in-store or through the App Store, 2% on purchases using the virtual card through Apple Pay, and then 1% if you use the physical card. Now, as far as rewards go, this is pretty lackluster. Now, it is a no annual fee card, so it is pretty in line with that range of cards, but for any points enthusiasts, this is not a card that we're going to get excited about. Now, I don't really think that we are Apple's target market with this card. I think this is meant for people who are already in the Apple ecosystem, who just want a flashy new credit card with an Apple logo on it that has simple cash back. I think that's who they're going for. Now, we don't know a lot of the benefits of the card itself as far as extended warranty, rental car privileges, things like that that normally come with credit cards. We don't really know any of that yet, if there is anything to know. I imagine any announcements like that will be coming out later this summer when the card is available to apply for. I do like that it sounds like it'll be a simplified application process. You get the card in minutes. Again, Amex does something similar with a lot of their cards. Now, one thing to keep in mind, of course, and this may be obvious, is that you need an iPhone to apply for this. So if you have an Android, sorry, you can't get it. Now, then again, like I said before, you're not really missing much. Now, there hasn't really been a sign-up bonus of any sort announced. My personal speculation, and again, I didn't get this from anywhere, this is just kind of what from having followed Apple for a few years, what I imagine is that there'll be some intro period, maybe on interest for Apple purchases as a sign-up bonus. I could easily see them doing that, especially as demand for smartphones is going down. I kind of see them doing something like that for a sign-up bonus. Maybe they'll give you some extra cash back upon application, because I have a feeling that the easy application process is going to be heavily pushed inside their retail stores. If you're buying a brand new Mac or something like that, I can almost guarantee that those sales reps are going to have some sort of metric for credit card applications. And oh yeah, all you gotta do, grab your iPhone, bada bing, bada boom, you got a new credit card, and you can buy whatever kind of Mac you want. I have a feeling that'll happen. Again, I didn't get that from anywhere. That's just kind of what my hunch is. So not every merchant is set up for mobile payments, so they do send you a physical card to use in that instance. And there's one question that a lot of points enthusiasts will have on their minds right now. What's it made out of?
The card is titanium.
Titanium. Okay, so metal cards are still, I don't want to say rare, they're uncommon still at this point. Usually reserved for high annual fee cards. Around $250 and above is when you start to get metal cards. There are a couple exceptions to that, but not many. And as far as metal cards that are no annual fee, there's really only a couple that I can think of. You got the Chase Amazon card, as well as the American Express Prime Business card. There's probably a couple others, but there's really not many metal, no annual fee cards. Now, that really shouldn't matter to people. I will admit I like my metal cards, the couple that I do have. Now, again, I want to stress, don't apply for this card just because of that. You have to be strategic with your card applications. Have a purpose before you apply for a card. Just because it's shiny and titanium, because really the physical card is just a drawer card. If you're a points enthusiast, this is not a card you're going to carry in your wallet anyway. So why have this metal card that's just going to sit in your drawer? So just hold on, stick to your plan. Get this card eventually, but don't burn a 524 slot for it. Now, on the metal card, it is kind of a shame that you're really disincentivized from using it. It's really only 1% anywhere when you use that card, which is beat out by pretty much every card on the market. So I do find that a shame. Now, again, my speculation time, I have a feeling that this card could turn into a new product line. The iPhone, the iPad, the MacBook, none of these things today are what they were when they were launched. So I have a feeling new features, maybe new bonus categories, things could be rolled around, and it's kind of a new product that Apple can tweak over time and add things to. And I have a feeling they will. Now, one nice thing about the card is that it's clean. There's no numbers or personal identifying information anywhere on the card except your name. Now, why that's kind of nice is because while it's not a huge concern or very likely to happen, say you hand your card to a waiter at the restaurant, they can have a little skimmer in their pocket where they swipe the magnetic strip, capture all the info, take a picture of it even, something like that. It doesn't happen very often, but it can. Now this card doesn't have any of that, so if you lose it, there's not a lot of damage that somebody can do with it. Now if you do need to get the card number and all that to make an online purchase, that will be available through the wallet app, so nothing to worry about there. If you need to manually enter it into Amazon or something, you will be able to do that. Now again, we don't really know what other ancillary benefits there will be as far as extended warranty or anything like that. Now again, speculation time. I have a feeling this will not come with extended warranty, or it will be excluded for Apple. And I have to think that'll be because it'll just cannibalize AppleCare. Now the extended warranty that comes on a lot of credit cards is not necessarily a direct replacement for AppleCare, but it might be enough that some people will forego that $200, $250 purchase for an extended warranty. If they get almost all the way there for free, I feel like a lot of people will just take that. So again, who is this card good for? I think it's good for Apple customers who spend a lot of money in the ecosystem. If you're buying a new computer, considering upgrading, you spend a lot of money in the App Store, something like that, I think this is a good card for you to get. 3% on Apple is okay. You're able to get more than that if you mess around with gift cards and stuff, but that's kind of a hassle sometimes. I think this is really meant for just the Apple ecosystem folks who have the iPhone, iPad, all that stuff, and they just want simple cash rewards. They want the nice interface in the wallet app. Just kind of your regular everyday consumer. I think that's who they're going for. Now the 2% anywhere, again, that's only through mobile payments, so I like to think of it as 1.5% because maybe you're going to mix and match with that physical card. So for comparison, I'm just going to consider it a 1.5% cash back. That's just how I'm going to think about it. In which case it kind of puts it in the same range as the Citi Double Cash, which is 2% just everywhere. The Chase Freedom Unlimited is 1.5% everywhere. Capital One Venture One is 1.25% everywhere, so it's kind of playing around in that group. So that's it this time, guys. That's all we know for the Apple Card. Like I said, be strategic with your applications. I really wouldn't recommend applying for this on day one if you are under 524. It just doesn't make any sense, especially because we don't even know if there will be a sign-up bonus of any sort, and I can't imagine that there really will be, apart from maybe some special financing offers or something like that. It's possible that we could see a cash back with so much spent in an Apple store or something like that, but I have to think that it'll be very tied to Apple. Don't run out and apply for it just because it's a cool metal card. Just have a plan and try to stick to it. If you guys have any comments or questions, please do leave them down below. I try to get to every single one. Again, this is a brand new credit card channel. We'll be bringing you tips and tricks on how to maximize rewards and understand your credit. If that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give the video a like and a share, and we'll see you next time.